Right now at 11, major breakthrough, an agreement in place to raise the debt ceiling just days before the deadline when the new bill could be voted on. Plus, it's the unofficial start of the summer months, and what better way to enjoy warm temperatures? The Weather Authority is tracking just how hot it's getting. And rescue teams continue to dig through the rubble after an apartment collapse in Iowa. What officials are saying about those efforts.
From 13 WREX, your weather authority, this is 13 News Midday.
Good morning and welcome to 13 News Midday. I'm Manny Estopinan. It's Monday, May 29th. Happy Memorial Day to all our viewers joining us this morning. We're going to be taking a look outside our station here at our WREX, getting that perfect warm weather on this holiday. Look at those beautiful clear skies. Hopefully everyone gets out there to enjoy some of this nice weather. That our state lines are reaching the upper 70s in some areas. John, just how hot is it getting today?
Well, Manny, we're going to get pretty summer-like across the area as we have that unofficial start to summer today. Really going to feel like it as temperatures have already to those upper 70s, like you said. 78 degrees at 11 o'clock here in Rockford. We just had that parade through downtown Rockford. Festivities going on across the state line all afternoon. We will continue to have very comfortable conditions, but pretty warm conditions throughout the day as we continue to the 80s once we head towards the early afternoon with a mix of clouds and sunshine, but still abundant sunshine. Getting down past those high-level clouds will make for a very beautiful for our afternoon and into our evening for our holiday. But temperatures are not done climbing today. They keep going. We get to downright hot conditions later on this week, but I am some very slim chances for potentially showers and thunderstorms later this week. I'll have all the details coming up in the full forecast, Manny.
Thank you, John. This morning we're starting off with news from Washington, D.C., where Congress and President announced a debt ceiling deal just yesterday. We're going to be taking a live look at the Capitol building this morning, where the House plans to take up their new proposal on Wednesday. Both Biden and House Speaker McCarthy confident that bill will pass. With the deadline to avoid default approaching, this deal is ready to move to Congress. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell has more.
We've got good news.
This morning, a critical breakthrough. A plan that would avert a catastrophic first-in-history default by suspending the nation's borrowing limit until early 2025 and federal spending.
We've reached a bipartisan budget agreement that we're ready to move to the full Congress.
The tentative deal follows days of intense back-and-forth negotiations between President Biden, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, and their teams. The result is a compromise that Congress must still vote to approve, so the drama is not yet over.
So it's not 100% what everybody wants, but when you look, the country is going to be stronger.
The agreement would hold non-defense federal spending roughly flat for 2024, with a 1% increase for 2025, expand requirements of federal food assistance, SNAP benefits until 2030, exempt veterans and the homeless. COVID funding, about $30 billion would be clawed back. $20 billion from the IRS would be shifted to meet other government needs. The plan also funds veterans' medical care and keeps student debt relief. Lawmakers will now be able to read the 99-page bill with a House vote expected Wednesday. Democrats' Progressive Caucus with a mixed reaction.
I'm not happy with some of the things I'm hearing about, but cutting the deficit and they are not cutting spending.
While both the White House and Speaker looking to claim pieces of victory.
We did a conference call with our conference, and over 95% were overwhelmingly excited about what they see.
I have no idea whether he had the votes. I expect he does. I think he would have made the agreement.
Now, June 5th, that's when Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the U.S. could be at risk of breaching year. The approved amount is $50.6 billion. That begins July 1st. Right now, spending will go towards investments in things like education, child welfare, and combating homelessness. Representative Maurice West celebrated the approved budget, saying, quote, "I'm especially proud to announce significant investments in the 67th district, including much needed assistance for local restaurants still struggling to recover from the pandemic. Plus, committed to ensuring our communities continue to receive money from the state to upgrade our infrastructure, public safety, hospitality sector, and more," end quote. And Republican State Representative Bradley Fritz disagreed with the budget, saying, quote, "Instead of providing a budget to serve every community in Illinois, we have a budget riddled with partisan projects. The people of Illinois deserve transparency and a government that works for them, regardless of political party. This isn't a balanced budget. It's a partisan spending plan unworthy of our taxpayers," end quote. And after a second fire in a vacant Rockford building, fire officials have an important message for the community. Take a look at this map on your 100 block of Blaisdell Street in Rockford. Fire crews found smoke and a small fire coming from a second classroom and was quickly controlled. Rockford Fire. This is the second fire in this building within just days. The first one a result of arson. The building has been vacant for many years and currently has a chain link fence around the perimeter to keep away trespassers. Neighbors are being advised to be on alert.
I just would encourage all the neighborhood residents to keep their eyes open. If they see people around the property, please call the police. It is private property. The city does own this building. We're trying to secure it to keep people out for their safety as well as of our first responders.
The building is set to be demolished in the near future. Now to a developing story. Search and rescue are currently underway at an apartment building partially collapsed in Davenport, Iowa. This morning, officials telling us one additional person was rescued overnight out of the building. They've been taken to the hospital, but their condition remains unknown. A total of 8 people have been rescued and more than a dozen escorted out of that building. Rescue crews responded to the building shortly after 5 p.m. yesterday and found evidence of a gas and water leak throughout the structure. It's unclear how many people may be unaccounted or just how many residents are displaced. Your screen is new cell phone video into our newsroom, giving us a glimpse into that chaotic scene as part of that apartment building collapsed. You can see close-ups of that building starting to crumble and one completely exposed, quickly trying to reach safety away from that building. Happening right now, Memorial Day celebrations are taking place across the state line. This morning we had Rockford, Freeport, and Roscoe kick off their Memorial Day weekend festivities. But one last community is ready to set off their festivities. Pecatonica boasts they have the second largest Memorial Day parade in the state. It's been a tradition there for more than 150 years now. That parade is starting at 2 this afternoon. It will go from the Pecatonica Middle School parking lot all the way to Summer Park. That parade is expected to last over an hour, so be sure to get there early, grab a lawn chair, and enjoy the festivities. Happening tomorrow, the city of will officially host the naming ceremony for Officer Mark Dallas. Earlier this month, the Dixon City Council School Board voted unanimously to approve the name of Mark Dallas Way for a portion of Lincoln Statue Drive. Dixon Public School Board, Dixon City Council will be there at the memorial at 3:30 p.m. And also happening tomorrow, Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara will give his annual State of the City address during City Council. Residents .30 p.m.
It's Memorial Day. A day. I know from chatting with you online that lots of you are either hosting a barbecue or you've been invited to a friend's or neighbor's house for a cookout. And whether you're looking for something to bring that's a different or you just want to add a creative touch to what you'll be serving, I'd like to suggest our best ever picnic butter. Here I'm sauteing some finely chopped onion and garlic in a bit of butter. Once it cools for a bit, we add it to a couple of sticks of softened butter, some chopped parsley, paprika, and a salt. Since the butter is soft, easily mix this up with a spoon. Now we'll put it in a couple of jars and pop it in the fridge. Once it firms up, we can smear it on our rolls and buns before they hit the grill, or just put a jar of it on the table. Let everyone go to town. It takes plain corn on the cob and makes it taste really special. Use a dollop of it on a steak to make it extra mouth-watering. To get the recipe for what we call our best ever butter, along with a bunch of other homemade butter recipes, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a better buttery way for you to say, ooh, good.
And if you would like a copy of today's recipe, be sure to write to the address on your screen or go to WREX.com and click on the Mr. Food link. Mr. Howard isn't the only one having fun in the kitchen. Grilling season is officially underway, as many of you probably held cookouts to celebrate the holiday weekend. Cooking the grill, safety should be top of mind. When grilling, there is the danger of fire. Every year, grills cause roughly 4,000 building fires and over 5,000 grass fires. The Rockford Fire Department says if you're grilling, you want to make sure you have the proper fire extinguisher on hand just in case of a fire.
If you do have a grease fire, it is important to make sure that you have the appropriate kind of extinguisher nearby. We don't want to dump water on grease. It's just going to spread the fire around. Those ABC extinguishers you can buy, use out of your kitchen, just the same. You're going to use them as grill, just in case there should be the worst case scenario of a fire.
And if you do put out the fire, you would still call 911 for the firefighters to make sure that fire is completely out and won't rekindle. Many of us likely spent a lot of time in the sun over the holiday weekend, and we'll be more now that summer is underway. Our 13 WREX Samantha Soto sat down with local health experts to talk the dangers of too much sun exposure during Skin Cancer Awareness Month.
The sun has ultraviolet rays that can be harmful to your skin, causing premature aging and even skin cancer, the most common form of cancer in the U.S.
While most of it is not life-threatening, it can be very dangerous. A lot of times people end up getting parts of their face removed. We also see it on any part of the body that could potentially be exposed to. So it's not just that the face is at risk. So we really need to be careful of the body.
Signs of skin cancer happen over time. Dr. Ahmed Khan, resident at UIC Rockford College of Medicine, says to be aware of any suspicious lesions on your body.
It starts to grow in size. It has an irregular shape. If you're lighter skin, maybe it might be a darker lesion. If you're darker skin, it might be a slightly lighter lesion.
He adds a common misconception is that by staying out of the sun and in the shade, you are at a reduced risk. But sunlight can reflect off of safe water. Health experts stress prevention is key by wearing things like clothing that covers both your arms and your legs, sunglasses, and of course, sunscreen.
I hear over and over again people that come in their 50s and 60s and really regret some of their UV exposure behavior from younger because they just didn't think it would apply to them.
And while it is more common in older adults, it's not unusual to see younger people.
So, hey, it's never going to happen to you. Just know that it can happen. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't care what age you are, how healthy you are. Skin can come at any time.
So I would say definitely do not neglect this. If you notice anything, definitely bring it up. Even if it is something that is something totally benign, something that does not is not something alarming, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Now, experts also add you should avoid direct sunlight during the sun hours. That's between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. from tanning beds.
And that message is especially true throughout our day today. Plenty of sunshine that's helping up warm our temperatures very quickly this morning, as we've already risen up to 78 degrees in Rockford and in Winnebago, 79 degrees in Grove and DeKalb, seeing 79 in Woodstock. Under partly skies, making for a gorgeous Monday afternoon for any Memorial Day holiday plans that you have throughout the day up ahead for our day today, as we are continuing to see very warm across the area. through the next several days up ahead. But as we take a look at your afternoon, we see temperatures continuing to rise through the 80s, even getting into the middle 80s as we take a look towards 4 o'clock, as we continue to see partly cloudy skies moving through. We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine throughout the day, but it's those high-level clouds. The sunshine will just poke right through those, and we'll have abundant sunshine remainder of the day as we take a look at our high temperature of 85 degrees in the afternoon, as we see really summer-like conditions and a little bit of a breeze having to make things feel pretty nice as we head later on into this afternoon. The one big concern, though, with all the warm temperatures that we've had over the last few days, we've been building up a whole bunch of particulates in the air, and that's leading to ozone level, especially across southern Wisconsin. That's why we have air quality alerts in place going into effect hour or so, going through until about 11 p.m. tonight. So just be sure, if you're going to be outside for a particularly long time on any Memorial Day plans, just take a break, especially if you're particularly sensitive to high ozone levels and have issues with that. But as we take a look at the rest of the week ahead, Tuesday looking with lower air quality once again with ozone, and also some smoke is possible. But as we take a look later on in the week, air quality conditions slightly improve as we head to the middle of the week. But those temperatures, they continue to climb as we see the 70s and into the 80s this afternoon. We'll see temperatures rising into the upper 80s near 90 towards tomorrow. We'll also these low temperatures overnight. That's something to keep in mind as temperatures dropping into the 6 lows this week. As we take a look towards the middle of the week, you may notice on this temperature map here, these little, they almost look like popcorn little dots here. These would be isolated thunderstorms that could be developing towards the middle of the week. These would be just because it gets so hot, and we see isolated showers and thunderstorms possible Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But really take a look at this 7-day forecast. We see plenty of sunshine and highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. And in your most accurate 10-day forecast, you can see sunshine going, but temperatures may be cooling down a little bit once we head towards a week from today, Manny.
John, thank you. In this week's Inspiring 815, we have an incredible story of a breast cancer survivor who's made it her mission to inspire others to stay fit, be positive, and live by her motto, stay in the day. Our 13 WREX Dylan Valencia has this week's Inspiring 815.
I would look at my husband and say, is this a nightmare? Like, can you please just wake me up from this?
Melissa beat breast cancer in 2019, and since then has been inspiring others to live a healthy life with her workouts, until they got the gut-wrenching news.
I had worked hard for the past 4 years, doing what I could to stay healthy, to stay active, to stay fit, eat the right things, and then there knows no mercy. So it ended up coming back.
Now she is fighting cancer again, this time triple-negative stage 4 breast cancer that has spread to her liver.
Out at age 38, you have stage 4 cancer. Is obviously very, very difficult. Okay, I'm going to have to start this new life again or build this new so
one of her close friends recalls the moment she heard the news.
I'll never forget that moment, trying to be strong for her and giving her the support and love that she needs, but also being just completely heartbroken for her at the same time because it's just not fair.
I have been given timelines by doctors. At first they told me it could be months or it could be years, but cancer would be what ended my life.
Melissa lives by one motto.
Stay in the day, and I'm going to worry about what's going to happen next month or 2 months from now. I want to enjoy the time that I have right now with my family and friends.
I hope she knows how much she has inspired not only myself, but my personal children, her students, her friends, her family.
You can have moments where you feel defeated and sick and like you don't want to get out of bed, but see my daughter come in and say, "Mommy, I love you forever." That is what gets me through.
Quite a moving story there. We wish Melissa in her ongoing journey. A GoFundMe page has been created to help the Stuckey family with medical expenses. We'll have more information on our website.
And we have one more Memorial Day parade for our across the state line for our Monday. If you're heading out to Pecatonica, we got one of the biggest parades across the state today, among the longest running as well, as that lines up from the middle school to the park there in Pecatonica. Temperatures in the 80s throughout the afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. We see a mix of sun and clouds, with temperatures feeling pretty summer-like. And as we take a look at the 10-day forecast, you see all that sunshine and temperatures continuing to warm up into tomorrow, with highs in the 80s and 90s. So, Manny, I know you're a big fan of those numbers, but we see all that dry weather, beautiful for any outside plans.
John, I'm excited for the warm weather. I hope all of you make sure you grab some of that sunscreen, sunglasses. Be sure and go out there, enjoy the day, enjoy this warm weather.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank you for making us a part of your morning. We hope you have a fantastic Memorial Day, and we hope you catch us on 13 News at 4.
Happy Memorial Day.